Alrighty. Coming back at you with part two, part two of the solve of this puzzle, which is authored by a listener. It was the winner of the um, AGC, the Ascot Gold Cup, for the best listener crossword, published in 2002. We did the first run through of the clues last night, previous video. We've done okay, I think. Have a decent enough little crop of clues from the first run through. Identified some of the trickier clues. So wordplay in 15 of the across clues gives an extra letter. Definitely got two of those, and I think we've got a third. And wordplay in 15 of the down clues contains a redundant word, and we have four of those. I'll just colour them in a different colour. It's a spot when we come back to them. What we also have is quite a few clues where I can't quite work out how to pass them, but I think we might have the answers. So, for example, ordered a broker 36 down could well be sell, and that seems to fit. It also lines up with Plimsoll from 41 across, seems to fit, but once again, can't quite work out the wordplay of those clues, and that might be because these are clues which do contain an extra word, or in the case of the down clue, or does generate an extra letter in the case of the 41 across there. Three down's interesting. According to somebody who was watching along last night, Leer, L-E-E-R, is the Afrikaner's word for learn. About, returning that, could give real, R-E-E-L, for buffalo. A little bit indirect. To reel can mean to stagger, and to buffalo can mean to overhaul or bamboozle. So, not quite sure about that. We do also have 8 cells in the grid where we are going to have clashes. So we potentially have 2 of those worked out already. Let's try and get into this cell. See what else we can try and get it. Hi Shark, how are you? Looking at part 1, I notice Anna is a buffalo and it is hidden. So 3 down. Anna is a buffalo. Ah, of course. So the actual word we're looking for here isn't trapping, it's Anna for buffalo. Sorry, that's the indicator to give us indicator for a hidden word. The answer is Arna, A-R-N-A, which is a type of buffalo, and the extra word is Afrikaners. I'm very comfortable with that. Maybe we still have a clashing answer in this third cell, but we're expecting some of those. That might mean it's a good idea then to revisit one across. We could potentially be looking for a country there, and just looking at enumeration, perhaps that country could be Spain, S-P-A-I-N, which could be A inside spin. Let me just colour this. Shark's already got that. Where are we? Professor of theology, absentee in country. Yeah. So, I mean, could a professor of theology be spin? Certainly never heard it used in that sense before, but I wonder if he could be a fellow who that name. No, I can't see. Have a look at my country list again. This could also be a clue where we're generating an extra letter from the wordplay. So it could well be Spain, but perhaps STP. And it's just absent is in A and in, so ST. Oh, sorry. We're very much on the Professor of Theology, STP. Wonderful. Great spot. There's just a T there. Spain. Never been to Spain. My father did a walking tour across Spain once, though. I like that. That means that we could be looking at, for one down, we could be looking at ship on, which I think is a cowshed. Right. Also spelled ship in. I do like that. If it is, I think this will be the second clue I've noticed in this puzzle. I think in this puzzle, which doesn't have a dialect indicator or one of those qualifiers that we usually see these days in crosswords to indicate that we're looking for a dialectical word or perhaps a Scottish word or an obsolete word. But I mean, it might be that this crossword was written before this edition of the Chambers English Dictionary or the Chambers Dictionary was produced, or it might just be that that just wasn't an expected clue-in convention back then. I'm not sure what the answer to that is, but sure there would be people that know. So one down. Bye. Have fun. You go get your bus? Yeah. Good luck. What, they letting you off for lunch?
What?
They're letting you out for lunch?
Oh.
Say again,
Probably.
no. Let me know if you want to have lunch at Taz's. You know that cafe that I go to?
Yeah.
Let me know if you want to have lunch. So couch could be ship on or ship hen, which does fit one down. Clydebank soil needs protection. Soil needs protection. I don't think. I mean, ship isn't like a Scottish word for soil or needs. I don't believe. Some of the words within it. We have all in here. No. Pond. Pathetic for a pond. Pen. I mean, pen's a form of protection, I suppose, in a sense of small enclosure. I don't know if you'd really define it that way, though. could just be completely wrong about it being the answer. But let's assume it is. Let's assume 11 across starts with an H. And if we do that, we do have something rather interesting because all of the letters that we would have in 11 across can be given by this with an extra A maybe. A. No, a few extra ones in there. But they certainly all appear in that little formation. And the da is a very strange anagram indicator if it is one. Doesn't have its tax. What on earth does Ladar mean? I think I was looking for it before. I couldn't see anything for it. Ladar. Prominent Russian automobile brand. It would be very strange if that was used as an anagram indicator. Doesn't have its tax. Yeah, so what happens if we remove all the A's? That's suggested by Shark. Horngeld. What on earth is Horngeld? What's the indication to remove all the A's? Historical word for cordage, which is, of course, a service rent fixed on old cattle or horngeld, or horned cattle, also known as cornage. Horngeld. It's definitely one of the more avant-garde clues around. Love to know how on earth that any of that is an indication to remove. I mean, it's doesn't make. So I mean, I'd understand if it was aha orange ladar doesn't have it and that. Oh, maybe it. A is dialectical for it, IT. So you remove all the it's pluralised and all the A's pluralised, and you get the historical word for tax. I mean, once again, there's another good example, I think, of a clue that not so very clever, but potentially doesn't quite fit with current convention in the sense that, I mean, there'll be an expectation that I think if you're going to be indicating a dialectical word like it's, in the sense that it's used there within the clue, you'd at least say, give a little nudge in that direction. And I think even horngeld itself is an obsolete word. Where are we? Horngeld. I lost horngeld. Where's my horngeld gone? Yeah, historical word for cornage, which itself is a historical word. These days you expect to see something to that effect as well. And Shark says he's never seen that in recent times of solving. But maybe we're dealing with a very experienced set here, and I suppose when we're looking at this puzzle, maybe we're looking back into, maybe even if we go 25 years back, or 23, 24 years back to 2002, maybe there is a change in the change in usual etiquettes and expectations in clue writing. So I think even in the puzzle, Dimitri's puzzle from which won the 2021, sorry, 2001 listener prize, I think there were a few instances of that as well. But it could also be because the dictionary's changed. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I think a good place to start might be maybe looking at what the small books might say about including conventions. But anyway, it does tend to confirm that we could be looking for ship on or ship pen for one down. Four down as well, INO, white paper. And I always want that to be ivory for white, perhaps with a clash. In pocket from main office. Is in off the word? In off. Yeah. White in pocket is a stroke, and in off is a stroke in which a cue ball falls into the pocket after striking another ball. Of course, we have an extra word there being paper, and spotted that one because it's hidden inside main office. That's a neat little clue. I do like it when you see a hidden clue which isn't glaringly obvious. Like just an ordinary sort of connecting word is used between the definition and the wordplay, like from there, or gives, I think was another one that we saw in this puzzle. Yeah, could have been the last puzzle. And but really what it is, it's not a connecting word, it's a nice little hidden indicator like that. It's good. That might make 19 across. It's worthwhile having a look at next. 19 across, scraper for cleaning bottles with no alternative. I was wondering whether or not lack of alternative I'm looking for here is to remove an O or an R from something, but scraper bottles. We do have a possible enumeration, assuming there's no clashes. We are looking for 6 more cells that clash. We'll probably move the enumeration to the front of the clues and start doing that as we go. EFRE, scraper. Definition could be scraper, could be scraper for cleaning. What could also be bottles is another hidden indicator. Because look at this, we have PERF, it's per force. So no alternative is the, so with no alternative is the definition. And per force, with an extra L in it, is hidden inside. I mean, it should have been a bit more obvious to me on the first run through that there were bottles is, of course, a hidden word indicator, especially when it's exactly the sort of clue that I'm trying to spot. And it's the opposite of what I was talking about before. hidden and subtle in word indicators, and bottles has got to be one of the most obvious ones. That's our extra letter right there. And there's another one, into psychology exhibits with an extra E. Once again, it fits very, very neatly with ship on or ship in, being an answer for one down, but no closer to working out what the possible wordplay could be there. On or ship in. Down, beloved clasps a very good opal. I've put OSAG there because that could be something that could be given by of very good. Just wondering if we're looking for a word for beloved which goes around that. Girl around OSO is gyrosol. Is it? It is, that's probably. Is that naval? Sorry. I mean, so can mean very, it can also mean very good. The gyrosol, yeah, fire. Lovely. This is interesting. I mean, but I mean, very can give so. I think very good can also give so, which, okay, yeah, very good. So, I mean, it could be that on, I don't know, it's probably only very good that can give so, not very. So I was wondering whether or not good could be an extra word there, but probably not. That confirms that we are looking at range for 18 across. Runabout, holding a horse. And holding A could be an indication we need to remove an A from something. Runabout, I like that as a definition for range, but runabout can also give the RA at the start, which could be an analytically, you know, we could be looking for the way it could look, it's a little bit unusual, but runabout, RA, holding A could just mean delay A, and horse could be nag. Actually, no, that doesn't work. Because we have an E on the end, not an A on the end. But to range is to rove freely in all directions, or to move and have freedom of movement. So that's the sense that I think range is clued by, or defined by runabout. I don't think it's a horse. It's definitely not a horse. It could also just mean a run. And run is one of those words which has, yeah, the run is to rage. So perhaps the definition is simply run. Run about holding a horse. About could be average. No, but then we don't get the end there, do we? I'm not quite sure how that clue works, but the answer is obviously range. Unless I mean, the reason we do need to work it out is because it could be a clue where we actually have a clash. Or about RE, or, oh, of course, I'm an idiot. Yeah, about. Right, okay. Um, we have an extra A here. There's RE around a nag with an extra A. It is a clue which gives us the extra letter, which is an A. Um, so that's a sort of clue where the word players are staring in the face and the solution. We've got the solution, worked out what the definition is, and word players just looking in your face and I still couldn't get it. They are very subtle clues. I think that's, yeah, I'm not sure what your thoughts are, Shark, but in my mind, that's one of the things that's I think special and unique about um, Sabre's clue writing. There's definitely a delicacy about them. Definitely very hidden, um, well disguised. 22 across Stella. I was wondering if this would end SION, but if the definition is stellar, I mean, there is a world where we're looking at an adjective that ends SIAN. I liked revision being rev penned by something. I don't know many transcendentalists, but let's just have a look at 20 down as well, assuming that starts more likely CO, but perhaps also CA. C, well, that can give us a C. Because I think in Chambers, C, one of the senses of it is, yeah, the third letter of the alphabet, SCE. End of common, cold, originating in bacteria. End of common, cold. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Just back to 22. So I like rev for revision, which is, I suppose, of course, given the standard abbreviation for revision, REV, penned by a transcendentalist. It could be that. That is, i.e., inside. No. We do know it starts with E, or likely starts with E or O from ship on or ship in, unless there's a clash. But who are our transcendentalists? A list of transcendentalists. Miller? No. Bomber? Emerson? I mean, Emerson would work there with a clash at the end and something else inside. Could RV give revision as well? No, it's just revised. I mean, Emerson wasn't a transcendentalist, I suppose. And wouldn't that be funny if it was Emerson somehow? Emerson around something. Version? Merton, yeah, here we go. He reappeared to heavenly body after an eclipse. So that's definitely what we're looking for. I mean, very subtly defined as stellar revision. So we've got Emerson around I something. So we need that supports his IE. So once again, we have an extra letter here, which is an E. It's very sneaky to include IEs and that's just by that. Once again, we have this use of what, even when one's passing the clue, might think is just a connecting word between the definition of wordplay, but in fact, it's an essential part of the wordplay itself. Happy with that. Which tends to confirm that this one down is likely to be a ship end for a cow shed. Or I think it's defined in Chambers as a cow house. So that gives us, I suppose, a top northwestern hemisphere, or northwestern portion of the grid. It's not a hemisphere, is it? Northwestern quarter of the grid. Still need to work out the southern hemisphere and the northwestern quarter. There's not really much to join them. Actually, there's nothing to join them. These are three quarters that we're going to need to work out independently of each other, because 8 down, well, the entries I've highlighted in yellow there are, of course, unclude entries. So there's nothing that joins them at all. So it doesn't really matter which one we knock off first, because we're going to have to independently solve it. So noble could be ducal. So Carl doesn't mean capital, I think, but ducal is related to a duke. So yeah, twin is dual. Catholic, C, at heart. Oh, that is very subtle. It's extraordinarily subtle. Darren, how many times have you seen at heart being used as an indicator to insert something into something else? Not just is it a very unusual indicator to indicate insertion, but it's used in a really Yoderish sort of way. It's container, what's to be inserted, and then at heart afterwards. They are very clever. They're very, very clever. I sort of when I solve Sabre's puzzle, I sort of get the sense that he must do so many revisions of the clues, with each iteration designed to try and completely hide the wordplay, or hide the wordplay as completely as he possibly can. Or hide the wordplay as much as he possibly can. I think what so enchant is jumping out at me for 23 down now. Let's go down to that. But I think that the fact that the wordplay is so hidden just makes the thrill of the solve of a puzzle like this well, makes solving a puzzle like this so much more thrilling, because you get that penny drop moment. Every time you get one of his clues out, every time you're able to push hard enough to reveal what he's done, you have that little aha moment. Extra cases from Havana, offloaded on guard. And I do want it to be, I mean, enchant fits, but XT round Cuban. Excavate, it's not a word I was familiar with, but thanks for that. Sharp. On guard. Absolutely no idea. Extra EXT cases from Havana gives Cuban. Offloaded must be an extra word there. Yeah. Definitely not enchant. Offloaded. Beautiful. Um, 31 across. Beetles, a metre long. Getting us worried. And getting us could well be. That could fit with. I mean, at the moment we have something you, something, something. That could be an indicator that we put US inside. Beetles. I can't see how we've got a metre long. Could be dealing with a clash here. We are looking for 6 more of them, so we haven't worked out where they all are yet. Number 25, dead black nightshade, dead leaves, crush in fine perfume. Nightshade's a type of plant, isn't it? Poison, is it? Yeah, various plants. A black nightshade's a common plant. The nightshade family, poisonous leaves. I wouldn't necessarily be convinced that the answer is as simple as a definition for another word for a black nightshade. I suspect that could just be very, very well disguised. Wordplay. The difficulty I'm having with this quiz, I just can't quite pass it. I mean, dead leaves could well be de-leaving something. Crushed could be an anagram indicator, but it could also be part of the wordplay. It's been defined by crush, maybe. The word de-leaving, letter D leaving a word meaning crushed. In fine perfume. Of course, one of these answers could well be, one of these words could well be surplus. It could be looking for D, leaving the word meaning crushed inside the word meaning perfume or fine. That could give us a black nightshade. I suppose moments I wish I had more detailed dictionary knowledge. I think it's part of the challenge for solving these more advanced cryptics for me is that a lot of the words that end up going into these things I don't actually know or haven't come across before. Looking at what we have, didn't know Horngeld, didn't know Ogden. I know the word emerging, but not in the sense that it's used there. Definitely times or team. Scottish word for a time. Yep. Chugger. I don't think I've come across that before either for a thief. Not for a thief. Solicitor, somebody who stops others. Lactin is a word. Lactin. I think. I don't know. Not lactic. Okay, so 26 French night. Or 8 bottles of milk? Question mark. Ordering 8 bottles of milk. Of milk, lactic. That would give that. And perhaps we do have a clash there. French night ordering 8 bottles of milk. Not sure how we get it. If that is right, if it is lactic, let's wonder if there's another adjectival sense in which it's used. Lacteal means of milk as well. Lactam, lactase, lactate. Lactic. If it is lactic, that might mean that 31 across is R something U, C something. That jumps out a bit there. I do like lactic as well. I just can't quite explain the wordplay. I mean, night could give N. We do have an N there, but we don't have an N in lactic, but we do have an N at the bottom of the grid. Sorry, at the bottom of the entry. The other one I found quite interesting is an attacker of oysters. I suspect attacker of oysters could be the definition there. But it's too little to go on. Casein is also from milk. 8 bottles, that could be. Get a case in. To order a case in would be to potentially get 8 bottles. Casing's a noun. It has to be a French word somehow for a set of 8. So French ordering, just what we do. So I was trying to look for the yeah. There's a protein obtained from milk. Yeah. Put that to one side. Perhaps try moving to a different hemisphere. 30 across would be a nice one to get, but I've done that before and I just wasn't able to get what it could be. I mean, non-stop. There's like a nice part of the definition. Nothing really jumps out at me though. 30 down, having enough room means losing top. May well be that what it means is extra, and I think what I was about before is the word meaning having enough room, losing its first letter, and then using it a 4-letter word meaning table. Abstract to the Crossword Dictionary for this. 4-letter words meaning table could be chow, diet, dish, fare, food, grub, list. Menu, move, not, plan, slab, or tuck. Having enough means could also be to be wealthy enough. So it could be that we're losing word root or the word means is extra. So having enough means means to be sated, I suppose, but not rich or wealthy or well off. And other types of tables are a bird, a card, a desk, a drawer, a drum, a pile, a pier, a pool, a sand, a side, a sofa, and a work. Not sure. 35 across is curious as well, and I suspect we don't know whether 36 down with cell is correct. And Frab is definitely correct for 35 down, but could have a clash with the F. Because what I really wanted for 35 across was add AD followed by. So I followed lawyers 3 terms. Just sad words. D-A-S-A-D or something? No. But something S-A-D could work, or F's. I mean, if we're correct about what we have there so far, actually, no, followed. I don't think that's part. I think I said this before. I don't think that's part of the juxtaposition. No, I don't think followed can mean F, can it? No, it can't. I don't like the fact it's past tense. I mean, wordplay juxtapositional indicators in wordplay generally isn't put in the past tense. Oh, we might have the Darren's come up with the wordplay for our canvas shoe. So L for left aims for marks inside hole of the punt. That gives us limb sole with an extra A. Thanks for that. Very neat. I think it would have been about 4 or 5 years ago now. Sabre set a crossword. Sorry, set a crossword for. I think it was in the Magpie. But instead of having one extra letter in clues, I think he in fact had two extra letters in his clues. Or it could have been the other way around. He had the word play gave the defined word without two letters, which it's difficult enough to try and find an extra letter or account for a missing letter, but I remember thinking at the time just how much more difficult it became to try and account for two. It's exactly the sort of setter as devilishly enough to attempt something like that, though. But somehow it all seems fair when you've managed to beat it. Which might be. Which might be the natural bias that one has when they have successfully beat something like this. What if I put it in some of the enumerations here? I really want, for this 27 down, I really want the definition to be attacker of oysters. If it is some organism or parasite or disease that attacks oysters, well, I don't know, I think. Such a neat little definition. 20 down, we do have CO something something. It is exactly that. Bon Ami, good friend, Bon Ami, from Austria, gives. I suppose from must be an extra word there because what is from doing otherwise? And Bonamia is an attacker of oysters. Let's have a look at it. Parasite that causes bonamiasis, a fatal disease taking oysters. How's that? Bonamy. I'm fairly sure from is extra there. It's a little bit devilish as well, just putting using a word like that as a superfluous word. And some setters might set out to avoid superfluous words. So laid on their face. Which gives us, it does give us for 35 across. What it's starts saying is, but if the F or the S is a clash in cell, then we can only have one clash per entry, and assuming that the cell is correct for 36 down, then we either have F something something AD or something something SAD. But I don't like followed being used as the past tense indicator to put add after something, but 30 across we've got. That's what I'm trying to say there. Might head up and just have a crack at the northwestern quarter of the grid. I think I can get as much as I possibly can on the page there. So, 5 across we have SA something I, 1, 2, 3, 4. If some of those could be clashes. Spring, it's time we started with indenture. It's not to be servitude, but it's time you started. And we've got a sucker in Perth, returning suit. I wonder if we could, I mean, Hearts could be, no, it's not in clubs before, but Hearts is 6 letters. We could have an extra word here. I mean, stray with an extra H. I mean, that looks like it could be a Scottish word. Yeah, Scots form of straw. I suppose it. Yeah, straw's a sucker. Alright, give that a go. That gets us a start in this quarter. At least. So we have an extra H here. Oops, sorry. Stray. Nice. We're not looking for an idiot in Western Australia. We're looking for dining utensil in Edinburgh. $14 down, 1 spilling beer. Starts with T. Obviously looking for something that ends in R. 1 spilling could be a teller. When he tells secrets, perhaps. Could a teller also be a beer? No, don't think so. Tatler. Tatler used to be spelt with only 1 T. I don't think a tatler is also a beer. So. We should go to work at some stage. I do like the progress. Progress I've made so far. Good progress. 17 cross. They are still silver after treatment. I really do like to be AG after something. Look at some words for treatment. I could be looking for a 3 or 4 letter word for treatment. Use. You. Care, cure, and deal. Lag. To deal without an A or something. Dalag. No. Oh no, it's got to be something that starts with L, doesn't it? if it is something. Let's go back to treatment. What if it's an anagram of silver? I mean, treatment is an anagram indicator, so silver after treatment could be an anagram of that with an extra letter. Yeah, Darren, I think we're on the same page with a number of those. Uh, they are still, so obviously something that ends in S. Liars? So something lies? As in, like that? Yeah. Pay that. That gives us an extra value there. Just going back up to the preamble quickly, because we might have enough of these extra letters to, because wordplay effectively across the extra letter. These extra letters spell out a text that might prove useful. We have I mean, that sentence suggests that 5 across is not going to be with an extra letter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe we'll look at 5 more. This might be a U, so the value of something, the value of something, a something. I wonder if, so 21 across, could that have an extra U to make, I mean, ten down is yes. Spat. Quite is yes. God. Yes. Once again, something that's a Scottish word and a dialectical word which just doesn't have that indicator. I mean, maybe I think it's probably not simply a matter of the dictionary changing. I mean, perhaps that is just a modern convention. So quite is yes, ticked off 50%. Is an indicator to remove 50% of ticked. Good spot, Shark. While on the end here, we're still missing 6 clashes. I'm a little bit concerned by the fact that we haven't worked out more of them and identified more of them, because what that must mean is, or what that may mean is that we already have part of those clashing answers in the grid that might be standing in the way of us making progress on crossing entries. TI something B something. port over down, one spilling beer. A tilter? Or a pouter? So 9 down, Shark says Lazulite is extra. Tar ring. Oh dear. That is clever. So setting on his tarring is in to set somebody on something. Somebody. Jack is tar as in the sailor. And the belt is of course a ring. That is cleverly disguised. Gives us something ending TY up here, spring. So with indenture could be the clue here. It's time you started. I think we're probably looking for an anagram. We'd be looking for an anagram of 1, 2, 3. It's time, no. Send, that means that the spring doesn't have any work to do, does it? That's just 1, 2, 3, 6. It's time you started. I mean, could that give us ITY? Call you back later. Give us ITY. I don't like it. Spring could be SPA, S-P-A, so I don't think we do have an extra letter here. I'm looking at the salinity. That fits. So it's obviously not that. Twenty-one across. It's in IE. And I think this is one of the clues which probably has an extra U if you want to make the word the value out of the cross clues. Finishing court. Finishing court could literally be T. Start to talk to press. Selena is a spring. Ah. Selena's a spring. It's time you started with. I mean, it could be sex appeal for SA, so it could be it SA has. Or spring it has, which would be unusual. time for tea you started. Saranati, I don't think that's a word. Exactly, what does Lindy mean with indenture? I'm not sure the wordplay gives us.
Wait,
Yeah. Alrighty. Back on. Yeah, I don't think Salinity would mean indenture. Wouldn't agree, but it may be that we're not looking for something entity-wise. Well, it may be that we do have a clash here. Not at all sure how the rest of that passes. Hang on down, finishing court, start to talk to press. Finishing court. Once again, I think one of the reasons these might be a bit tricky to get is because we do have some clashing entries, so need to be a little bit careful about what we take. I mean, one spilling, and I like that being tilted, and what's types of beers? Pilsner, no. Because it really should be a double definition, a simple double definition clue with the clue like that. Beer, we're looking for 6 words. Curious thing, bitter. Bitter. Bitter and porter. Won't spilling be a bitter? Passing the cable around bits. End of a task. That's interesting. Look at this. So I always thought, to take something to the bitter end means to take it to the end, but the sense of the word bitter was, acrimonious or painful, but it's not. To take something to the bitter end is, bitter is the turn of a cable around a bits, which is a post for fastening cables. So it's a little idiom that doesn't actually. Oh, the head says hence perhaps that means what the bitter end is. Sharks chimed in with tipper as 14 down, one is spilling a beer. Of course, a tipper is a type of ale. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write that into my crossword dictionary because it's not in there.
You want
me to write into your crossword dictionary? Do you have a crossword dictionary? I would write it in if I had a pen. It works, but I don't. Anyway, remember to write tipper into my crossword dictionary for beer. Definitely do that. Good spot though, Darren. 21 across, it gives us something P here. It starts talking, finishing chord. Starts to talk to press. Absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea. It's a word for lawyer. DA, but already. Lie is press, so we have an extra L. Okay, that's interesting. So something P. So I'd like finishing chord. Start to talk. Maybe like an uptie or something. So in chord, I think that means up, doesn't it? To tie up, to finish, yeah. And up is, in or into chord. So uptie, okay. An extra L. Thanks for that, steer. So we don't have the value. We've got the valley. Oh, something just dawned on me. Something's just dawned on me. I think we recalling yesterday when we were looking up Sabre, I think we might have stumbled across something that tells me what this text here is. Let me just count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's only 15, aren't there? It's only 15. Yeah, I'm confused now. Yeah, Shark says me too. But unless I've got the title of the text wrong, wouldn't that be 16 letters, not 15 letters? Yep, 6. Is Scottish word pen dank? Just wondering that because that could give us H is missing, obviously gives us a H on the end, making U cross. Wondering if that's Scottish word for pen, something A-N-K. Wondering if there's an extra word there. Fank. Hank, lank, rank. Sank. No. Tank. Super Scottish word. And Yankees, but I don't think it's in the sense that we want. Jock's pen. What would Jock's pen be? So maybe the extra letter isn't until you there. So the text I'm thinking here for the across next to is the Valley of Death, which so I think I read when accidentally read something a little bit too much about this crossword yesterday at the end of our last video. The Valley of Death is, of course, Lee Valley. That's not the name of the text. Maybe I'm just conflating it with something else, but I'm fairly sure it is. I think I have a copy of it. Let me see. Just pulled up all my Sherlock Holmes books, and the very top one is where is it? This one. It's not death, it's the Valley of Fear. Whilst I was doing that, Sharp has told us that a Scottish word is the pen is fank, which absolutely gives us the extra F here for ank. It confirms that we are looking for ank for the cross. I've conflated the Valley of Death with the Valley of Fear. The book we're looking for is, of course, the Valley of Fear by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. It's one of his. Oh, sorry, Andrew. You okay? Sherlock Holmes. Serious. I think this is. Yes, it's one of the. With I think one with Hand of the Baskervilles and Study in Scarlet. It's on the Sign of 4. The Sign of 4 was his first one, I think. Sign of 4? No, Study in Scarlet. No, I think Simon Ford's. No, it's not. It's Tony and Scout. Yeah, it's Tony and Scout was their first adventure. I think I think I'm missing one. So I've got 4 novels and then 3 sort of compilations of Cave Book, The Adventures, and Return. Might be another one in there. We certainly have the theme. Thanks for your help, Darren. I think I'll need to go to work too. I think one of the next streams might be us reading through The Valley of Fear by Philip Holmes. So I read that all aloud. Everyone can keep up. Might try and. That would suggest that we've got an extra hour here. I might just try and get this extra clue here before I head off. Thanks for your help, Shark, and I'll see you later for part 3, I suppose. But I think we're making quite good progress for a Sabre puzzle here. Why the far as well. And the value. Yeah, that would mean that our author who's been highlighting the complete diagram must be one thing. Wait a second. Well, Dr. John Watson is an author within the, I suppose, a narrator and editive author of the Sherlock Holmes stories, but it's really, it's Ralphie Conan Doyle. Anyway, I will keep on stewing on this later. It's time to call it quits. Thanks for listening, everyone, and watching. Continue with this later.